Kasamuel alikuwa anashikwa akaingia Nation Center. Kasamuel ameingia Nation Center. Alikuwa anashikwa. Sio tuko hapa hivi. Tujaribu. Kasamuel ameingia Nation Center. Alikuwa ashikwa.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
How are you, first of all?
I'm fine.
Such soft hands. My name is Kasamuel.
I've just arrived.
You just arrived. Yeah, my name is Kasamuel Mcoure, and I'm a human being. I think the introduction, I don't know what to say about myself. I play music. I play instruments. Okay, fine. I play music. I play music. I teach and compose and perform. I'm also an educator.
Yeah.
I swim. Those are the things I mainly do with my life, I think. And very recently, I've ended up fighting for the liberation of our country.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing which most of the focus is on.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm normally just going directly, because I feel like at the point where I'm surfacing, it's more about the country than it is about the individual.
Yeah.
So I need to work on that personal introduction. But yeah,
okay.
Happy to be here.
Thank
it's been
you
a
for
long time
coming.
coming. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys,
yes.
It's been a long time. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about everything shaping the future of our country, and especially the role Gen Z have played in the fusion of both physical and digital activism.
Right.
So Kasamuel, but we'll call you Kaz.
Kaz, go for it.
Can you share a bit about your background and now what inspired you to become an activist?
That's interesting, because background-wise, it feels like as though every experience I've had in life has been leading to this moment.
Okay.
Because consistently as a child, if I reflect upon it, the things I was consistently beaten for were the why questions. I was that child who used to ask why. You know, why do we need to sleep in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Why do we need, like, it was always a series of whys. And I don't think that I've suddenly become an activist because it's just a continuation of this is just a continuation of how I live my life.
Yeah.
I do not stand. I stand up to bullies all the time. I do not take oppression lying down. So it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But seeing, maybe if I were to contextualize it to like now the countrywide protests that are happening, I think what really prepared me for this were my campus years. Okay. Because I spent those years in student leadership, in mobilization.
What campus did you go to?
Technical University of Kenya. Yes. And so as a student leader, I learned about now the ins and outs of politics.
Yeah.
And how just there's a way the system works politically. And what I loved about the campus environment is it was controlled.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have excesses as much.
Yeah.
And then
can't say the same for our government.
Yes, you really can't say the same about the government.
Yeah.
Then I also took a keen interest in the personal being political, because it's I feel like the easiest part is the part where you vie. The part where you face people and you tell them, hey, my name is Kasamuel and I want to be this thing. But in campus, I took a keen interest in mental health and wellness, sexual health and reproductive health and rights as well. And those two things now brought me to a place where I realized, hey man, there's a lot that I might not know about our introduction as human beings. So now, then I took a keen interest in feminist literature, which is also work in progress, because, you know, as a man, as I exist, there are things, very many things that I'm blind to that would be the reality of a woman. And even on my social media, there's times when, you know, as I've read and I feel like I've understood a thing, and then I put out a video and people are just like, that's such a horrible take. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't know. And then now you know, those kinds of things. Yeah. So coming from a point where I consistently had been told, sit in the discomfort, with knowing how awkward that is, you're like, your friends are telling you, oh, you've got this wrong. And nobody likes to be hated. I mean, I secretly do, but...
This interview,
you know. But learning that and seeing how Gava is reacting, clearly you can tell these are people who've never sat in the discomfort of anything. So leading to that, just the collection of that and study, because anytime you study, anytime you read books, and if I were to tell anybody there are a few books which you could check out that would really put you on a different plain in terms of just political thought. You could read bell hooks, not with the aim of reacting or responding, just for you to understand. Yes, because first when I started, I was just like, let me find what's wrong with the things in her books. But then you realize it breaks you. It's all about love. All About Love would be a very beautiful place to start. Then you could read Frantz Fanon. There's Black Skins, White Mask, and there's The Wretched of the Earth. Then, of course, there's Akina Achille Mbembe. You could pedagogy of. There's also, in terms of education, pedagogy of the oppressed, and then you could read Achille Mbembe's Necropolitics. Those books are. They could be a nice place to start. But if you're struggling with reading, because our generation. Yes, we are beneficiaries of free education, but also we live in such a fast-paced world where, and I don't know if this is true for you, but I struggle to read.
After all that,
yes, I actually
I don't hear you telling us about books,
struggle to
and then
read.
at the end you're just like, but I struggle
to read because if I threw you like a text that's 400 pages, where do you find time in your day? So first, read fiction, read simple books. Don't let no one pressure you. Don't read to look fancy. Because we've gotten to the point where, also, have you read this one? Have you read this book? It's a lofty book which you're supposed to read. But when we were babies, we used to read Goosebumps because it was fun. We used to read Super Strikers and those comics. So if you're struggling to read, avoid even this politics of trying to look cool and whatnot. Read whatever it is that you love, and then now we can graduate into those political texts. But check out the political texts that I've given you earlier.
That he allegedly struggles to read. Speaking of looking cool, before we dive deeper, I'm curious about your style. Because I feel like in every single picture, I've always seen you in like a three-piece suit. So tell us about that.
I mean, the suits are just because as a baby, I wore such horrible clothes, man.
Okay.
And I remember this one time, you're going to hate me, but you forgave me. We've talked about this. So that's chill. I need to explain it. This one time, we're out camping. So I grew up in a very conservative church. I'm not going to say the name because anyway, I'm SDA. And so the thing about our church is the thing about our church is we do, like, it's very family centered. Like the family culture is very strong because you go to church a whole day and you guys cook and that's why I can't participate in church girl slander. SDA babes.
You got me.
Babes. Anyway, so but we also have camps. So as a baby, like part of growing, you have adventurers, pathfinders, So there's part when you're just adolescents or we're getting into teenagehood, you go for camping. So we went for this one particular camp. I could tell you so many stories of why I wear suits, but I won't. I'll tell you just maybe one or two. I'll tell you one. We go camping and so I had like a very limited wardrobe. Yes. So apart from the uniform, when you're marching, the week, because the camp was a week long. It was in Kisumu, and Kisumu is a bit hot. So I've shikanished outfits, but then I spared one because my mom had bought me a back eyes weird looking shirt. It's like it's not even a basketball shirt, whatever. It figured here. It's not a full shirt, but also it's not like a and kulikuwa time bado watu walikuwa wanavaa ma3 kwenye.
Kusema longi.
Kusema longi. I'm kusema anda. I'm sorry. Does this?
It's okay. This is a safe space.
Watu walikuwa wanavaa 3 kwenye. So, because those were my newest clothes, I spared them. It was a red nini and like a a blue 3 kwenye. Because like huko chini ya sleeping bag yangu. And that time when you're in high school, I was in high school, I think I was in Form 1, Form 2. I'm in bush, nimeingia land, so I've come back. Come on. If you don't say it, you will die. Can you just let me say it.
Are you happy now that you've gotten that
now
out of
the way? Now I know I will survive. We can start.
Okay. In case you didn't hear, Kaz went to Alliance High School.
I wasn't going to say it, but she forced me. It's like those times when you had like one story in, like friends who had one story in composition. It's about a football match. Unaambiwa intrani andika recipe ama sijui speech. Unaanza tu kademka bukrata na che kisha you put your football story and then you finish.
And then you end it.
Yes,
it was a dream.
It was a dream. So you have to sneak in the finger.
the
But I also
alliance.
went to Maranda High School, so but story for another day. Anyways. So this babe, we're out for a camp, and see me, I've needed my clothes. There used to be, oh man, a stupid deodorant called Brute. No hate if you're using Brute, it's part of the process. Pole pole. Brute and Versman. It's no shade. I've not been.
This is not a paid partnership.
High school. Anyways, so my name is